Hey guys, Dr. Stephanie here, and today we're going to go through 8 stretches that you can do daily to improve your flexibility and mobility, and not only improve your flexibility, but improve your pain. So if you're having any low back pain, neck pain, upper back pain, knee pain, anywhere in your body, these stretches are going to help reduce that pain. And like I said, you can do them daily. I know 8 sounds like a lot, but it's really not a ton. So all you need is, for one of the stretches, we're going to use a little Pilates ball, and you can also use a pillow in place of that. Otherwise, you don't need any equipment. And you can do them on your floor, on a yoga mat like this. You can do them in your bed, on a couch, whatever is most comfortable. So for stretch number 1, it's the lower trunk rotation. So your feet are going to be on the floor, feet together, knees bent, knees together, and hands wherever they're comfortable. You're just going to rotate your knees to the side like this. And here you want to pause for 3 to 5 seconds. Let's get in a good stretch through here, your lower back here, and then you're going to go to the other side and just pause here, keeping those shoulders on the ground as you do this. 3 to 5 seconds. If this feels good, you can actually hold it for longer. And then come back to the other side. Hold this stretch, really stretching out that lower back here. And you want to go back and forth about 10 times. So 5 on each side. If you hold for longer, say this feels good, you hold for 15 or 20 seconds, you can go just 3 on each side, or you can go 5. So 3 to 5 on each side. Hold for a couple seconds, up to, like I said, 15 or 20. So that's good for the lower back. And then in this position on our back, we're going to cross one leg over here, and we're going to do what's called a piriformis stretch. So cross one leg over, grab your hands behind this other leg, and just pull back towards you. And you can relax this bottom foot here and just pull. And you want to hold 10 or 15 seconds. And you should feel a stretch kind of through here. If this feels like too much here, you can start just down here, kind of push on this leg, and then work your way up to here. But hold for 10 or 15 seconds, and then you'll repeat on the opposite side. So cross your foot over, reach behind this leg, pull back towards you, and hold 10 or 15 seconds. And you want to repeat that 3 or 5 times on each side. And again, if that feels like too much, you can start here and just kind of push this leg down here. You'll feel that stretch in your piriformis, which is that deep muscle kind of in your butt here. Okay, stretch number 3 is called the happy baby stretch. Sounds kind of silly. One of my favorite stretches, stretches out the pelvic floor, the adductor muscles in here, the hips. So from here, you're just going to grab onto your feet here. And I'll show you some modifications if this feels too difficult. You want to kind of push your knees out to the side as far as you can, and just hold this position 10 or 15 seconds, and then you'll relax and do that 3 to 5 times. But if this feels too hard, you can grab onto your ankles, and then you can also move down and grab onto your knees. If you're grabbing onto your knees, make sure your feet are relaxed, and make sure you're kind of pulling your knees apart here, because we really want to stretch that pelvic floor, kind of the bottom of your pelvis, and also these adductors in here. And again, 10 or 15 seconds, relax, and repeat 3 to 5 times. Okay, stretch number 4. We're going to lie on our stomach here, and this is just a prone press up here. So from here, put your hands right by your shoulders and just press up as far as you can press, kind of looking up towards the ceiling. So we're stretching kind of the front of our body, our hip flexors, our chest, and also stretching out the lower back. This feels good on the lower back usually. If it doesn't, you can come down. You can do this just on your elbows here. You don't have to press all the way up onto your hands, but you want to hold 5 to 10 seconds in this position, and then come back down. You can come all the way back down, and then press up again. Hold 10 or 15 seconds, And you want to repeat that 3 to 5 times. Okay, for the next stretch, we are gonna come onto here, hands and knees here. And this is one of my favorite stretches called the cat-cow or cat-camel. Very good for the lower back and upper back and even neck. So from here, we're going to arch our back down, look up towards the ceiling, pause for just 2 or 3 seconds, and then arch our back up and look down, pause 2 or 3 seconds, and then go the opposite way. So we're just going back and forth, up and down, nice and slow as you move from one position to the other. And then back down here, and back up. And you want to go about 10 or 15 times in each direction. Just back and forth. Just like that. Really getting a good arch in your back and looking up towards the ceiling. And then going the opposite way, looking down and arching your back up there. Okay, for the next one, we'll grab the ball for the next one. And if you don't have a ball, you can use a pillow or a rolled up towel, or even a foam roller works as well. So you're just going to place this kind of between your shoulder blades here. Get my hair out of the way. Place your hands behind your head here. And this is going to be some extension. So we do a lot of sitting during the day where we are kind of hunched forward. Maybe you feel like your head is kind of sticking forward, your shoulders are hunched forward. Maybe you have a little bit of that neck hump that you see talked about a lot. So to counteract that, we want to do some extension. So for this stretch, put your hands here, and you're just going to kind of open up your shoulders and lean back as far as you can comfortably, and then come back up. So lean back, just hold for 2 or 3 seconds, and then come back up this way, and then back down, and back up. And you don't have to hold this too long, just 2 or 3 seconds. And back up, and back down, and back up. And you want to do 10 or 15 of those. Okay, so for the next one, we're going to our legs a little bit. So we're going to work on the hip flexor stretch. So this is one of my favorite stretches for the hip flexor. You're going to do a half kneeling position. You can kneel on a pillow or a cushion if you need to. So we're stretching this leg. So whichever knee is on the ground, that's the hip flexor we're stretching. Those are those muscles in the front of the hip here. And in this position, we are going to do a lean forward. But before we do it, you want to make sure you're actually stretching those hip flexors. So what you want to do is kind of tuck your pelvis under. So a lot of people are in the anterior pelvic tilt most of the time. So you want to kind of tilt your hips under, kind of squeeze the glutes a little bit, and then lean forward. And then you'll really feel that hip flexor stretch in the front. And you want to hold this 10 or 15 seconds, and then come back, relax everything. And you can try and feel the difference where if you just kind of lean forward, like let your trunk go everywhere, or if you really tuck that pelvis, squeeze those glutes, lean forward. When you lean forward, keep this trunk straight up and down. Don't lean towards that knee. Sometimes pushing down on this knee too can give a little extra stretch, but 10 or 15 seconds, relax, do that 3 to 5 times, and then switch to the other leg here. So now we're stretching the right leg, the right knee is on the ground. We're going to tuck this pelvis under, squeeze our glutes, just kind of gently lean forward, hold 10 or 15 seconds, and then relax and do that 3 to 5 times. Okay, for the last exercise we're going to do, I'm going to show you on the floor, but this stretch gets a little bit better if you add a little step to it, so you can do it on your stairs. We're going to stretch the hamstring. So you're just going to put your heel on the floor in front of you, keep the other knee bent a little bit, and just kind of lean forward into it. You don't want to round your back either. You want to keep your back straight up and down, and if you need to hold on to something, you can. But you're just going to stick this leg out and just lean forward, and you should feel stretch in the back of your leg, the hamstring, even the calf there. Just hold 5 to 10 seconds, come back up, and then you'll do the same thing on the other. So heel on the ground, just kind of lean forward into that. You should feel a stretch in the back of your leg. And then come back up after 5 to 10 seconds. Repeat 3 to 5 times on each time. To make that more advanced, like I said, do it on a step. So place your foot on a step and just lean forward into it. You'll feel more of a stretch in your hamstring. So those are exercises you can do daily, and that will help improve your flexibility and decrease your pain.